Okay, so last video we were talking about watermelon, and we're gonna continue on with this. All right, this is part two. Part two of my VR chat sister being in some situation and their family not listening. So this poor little girl, right? This is all in VR. Was going through like not FNF, but FNIA. If you don't know what that is, that's just like big bazinga unrealistic body proportions for FNAF characters. And they were like there was people that were like, you know, with her at the age of 16 and older. And what I heard was low-key shocking to my ears, because I never thought this would ever come to like today. But all I hear is like Watermelon trying to cheat on Brian with Bob, that's low-key a fat chud. He's not even chud, I'm low-key joking around. So Bob is low-key like the funny guy, you know, a little bit inappropriate, you know, take any sort of woman any chance that he gets. That's low-key what I see him as. He could be a completely different person though. He likes being single. His mind is so dirty, I'm low-key surprised it's dirtier than mine. We already know how dirty mine is. So, I think, you know, I'm just trying to think, damn, it might have been a good idea to get Watermelon off. A year later, I'm like, I really miss Watermelon. You know, it's been a really long time since I saw him. And I checked the chats, I'm like, whoa, they texted me like this month? Right? So I texted them back, and then they never really responded. I think low-key they got in trouble again for being on VR, which I was happy to see them, because I got out of like all of this trauma and drama and stuff. So low-key I could, since she was saying that she was following me or whatever, I could low-key keep her by my side and keep her protected. You know, this is not a corny saying. This is just me saying this, you know, to vent to you. This is not anything that you should take action into by like interfering with any of this, because this was like a year ago. I'm saying. And since I'm like matured and I've low-key thought about, let me see both people's sides of a story and be non-biased, I'm like, okay, yeah, I should probably back down on this, since I'm low-key like, no, this is none of my business, you know, da-da-da. But some things I feel like should be my business. I know some of y'all hate that one person that pops into drama and is like, you know what, I think that you should low-key lay down just a tiny bit, alright? You should like just basically do this for them. Alright, it's not even that deep. So that's why when I saw Fizz and Muzi being all rough at each other, very angry. So Fizz, low-key, yes, you're a little bit of a mean person. You're low-key a mean kid, alright? And you literally tell everybody everything, and I'm pretty sure that, you know, you weren't really treating Muzi right, but that is okay. Some people just need more attention in relationships. Like me, I'm low-key a cuddle bug, but we ain't talking about that. That's not for today's video. I think what Fizz did with Muzi was not that bad, alright? I know some of y'all are gonna be like, that's so much stuff of him. You should low-key criticize him and manipulate him, or not manipulate, but you should totally publicly execute on game. And I know some of y'all like are saying like, yeah, Fizz is is a really cool person. They're just funny, you know. That's just the way they joke around. I don't like the way that they joke around. It's low key giving me flashbacks of Big Ship. We already know we don't speak of Big Ship or Watermelon because, you know, people just turned Watermelon into the W word, which I did that. Shh, don't tell anybody. But every time that we were talking about Watermelon, we'd just be like, W word is like, might be coming back. And we're like, you know, like, Red was low-key a-hole because he said that our relationship, like, from the beginning when we first started dating, was like a joke. I can't really be completely mad at him or like, you know, da-da-da. Because I low-key was like, let me leave him. Da-da. right? I gained some confidence. I'm like bipolar a little bit, so I'm like, let me leave him. I like glance back and like just like, and I get back with him, right? Because I didn't want the friend group to break. And yes, I have dated Brian before, but it was only for like a day. Because, okay, so let me explain my brain process. I'm like, okay, I just need to be with someone right now. I need to date somebody. And I low-key see Brian. I'm like, jackpot, right? So I walk over to Brian. I'm like, hey, can we like get together or whatever? And I also do this with Adrian, like right after I break up with Brian. Which then I realized, oh my god, I'm just using them to, stop the heartache or something like that. Like the void in my heart. So, low-key, I'm, like, single for a long while. I mean, a real long while. I'm talking, like, 3 whole years. No, I'm joking. I'm single for, like, 5 months. Right. Reasonable time. And I got over him in 6 months. Or, like, 5 months and 8 weeks. Something near there. And that's when I started dating, running, whatever. Continue on with the story, which we're at a blank page. But I think is, I'm low-key hallucinating. I haven't slept in a while. I think it's bad on my part and Watermelon's part. Because what I did was messed up because I could have stopped her and, all of that instead of, like, getting dragged into it. And I know, right, there was just one time where I got VRC, like, mentally graped or whatever. This is a very sensitive video. If you're like sensitive to this stuff, log off now. Anyway. But yeah, I got graped by this guy in VR chat because, like, I couldn't just leave. Because there was, like, so much pressure getting put onto me. As a little kid, you don't know what to do. That's why, I'm pretty sure that's why people say, like, kids should not be on VR chat, I think that non-mature people and people don't know how to, like, do things online. Because, like, the first time that I've gotten online was literally through VR, not on other games. For the other half of my life, I was literally just on YouTube brain rotted, just like, Corey Kenshin, Queso, those random LOL dolls videos that low-key were low-key kind of corny and traumatizing that I low-key had to do math on, like 7th grade math, but low-key we don't talk about that because low-key I was using my brain at the age of 10. And guess what, I still got the answer wrong, but I was close. Anyway, I think that Watermelon should definitely get a second chance if Red got, like, 50 chances, right? Red had, like, 5 chances of, like, me breaking up with him breaking up with me getting with him, like, breaking up, just, like, fucking cycle, 5 times. And out of these 5 times, it should have been 3, right? But I gave him 5. So I think that we should give Watermelon 2 chances. You know why? They already wasted their 1 chance, and they also did, like, stupid things as their past because they were low-key younger. Over a year, a lot can change. Your brain can develop more and all of that, But I think Watermelon should either get 1 or 2 chances left, right? My cousin, the reason why he's in this friend group, yes, he's a little entitled. That's okay, though. Since me and my cousin are low-key just, like, the same, but he's low-key younger me, a little bit more ding-dong-ish, and brain rotted, Besides all of that, he's cool. I like the person I'm with. I think like is a stronger word than love, because you hear love every day, and it stops becoming genuine after a long time. So I have to make it, like, special. I have to make it a special word for me. So when I say, I love you, right, and I really, like, mean it or whatever, I'm gonna know when it's the right time and when to use it. Because I'm pretty sure my partner was just saying it at random times. So when I was like doing something very disgusting or weird and he's like, I love you, I'm like, he like gags me every time because it's either like I'm stretching and I quote unquote moan or whatever. Let's just say that, right? I quote unquote moan. And he says I love you. I'm like, and I hear that, I'm like, I'm choosing to ignore it, and all I hear is Brian in my left eardrum just saying like, he said he loved you after you moaned. I'm like, yeah, I have ears, Brian. I know. And I couldn't really say that, so Loki said like, oh my god, really? No, that's crazy. I'm surrounded by idiots. I think the person I'm with, I really enjoy their company and I really like them, and I'm just not really ready to say I love them yet. You know, even if I said I loved them before, it was just probably an instinct that I had to say because of my other partners and whatever, and I had to say I love them just to keep them, like, you know, quote unquote, you know, paying attention to me or like caring about me or whatever. After a while, like almost a full year of me and Red dating, Red started showing his true colors and he low-key grew distant and like low-key like he hated me. And I know Red might come on to this video and be like, I never said that I hated you. Actions speak louder than words, buddy. You were acting like it. So, dude was low-key like really distant and he kept on like messing around with Brian behind my back, jokingly. I mean, he would literally give him back shots and literally say gay things to him and all of that. You know why? Because he thought it was funny. I don't think that's funny. I think that's quite disgusting and like disrespectful and to me. That's why low-key when I saw like, you know, Fizz going through something with Strawberry and Strawberry doing it like messing around with people behind his back as a joke, you know, just like how Red did to me, I was like, yeah, low-key that is messed up and I'm sorry that happened to you. Anyway, can I like continue playing my game? But yeah, he's like, Fizz is an alright person, just not when he's being a douchebag or like, you know, whatever else. I think he's pretty cool. I'm not completely dissing on Fizz, right? But our first introduction with each other was literally him calling me a pick-me, so like that, like your first impression on somebody takes a huge turn. Also, what Fizz did was like not okay. It's raining. Anyway, what Fizz does is not okay. I mean, I can tolerate some things, and I'm like, okay, whatever. And when it's bad on two people's side, I would literally just tell them to, like, break it up and apologize, make up, and make out, right? Whatever. I try and, like, fix the situation with that. And if they say it's not my business, not my problem, even though that I have a clear gateway open, literally, for them to stop fighting and make everything better. And even after I hear both sides of their story, they still tell me that, like, back off, this ain't my business. So I low-key treat it like it's not my business, and guess what gets worse? Them. Also, I only, like, got with Bonnie and Freddie because they were low-key, like, I was trying to figure out if they were lying about their age and stuff like that. By the way, if Freddie Z Gamer is saying that he is, like, older than, like, 16, then he is lying. He showed proof that he was 16, and if he's not 16, then he's 13. Because why would you lie being younger? So, he is 16 to 13 years old. Thank you. Nothing older, nothing younger. whatever. Let's break it up. And also, I think Freddy Z Gamer is just a perv. He low-key was asking for my VRC mom's pics, right? I'm allowing you guys to go ahead and go like to Freddy Z Gamer and low-key hate on him, because what is that?